What insult have your parents said that is stuck in your head as an adult? Half man half mattress my old man when I wouldn't get out of bed. Edit. For those asking, he was being amazing and funny. 1990. I was 16 and had to get up at 4:30 for work. He got me up and out the door every morning. A nice wee story. Sorry, but this made me laugh. The Mantris, a superhero with the power to sleep through anything. Aliens invading the city? Fuck, I'm gonna need to take a stress nap about this. You wouldn't like me when I lose my temper, Pedic. You can't even laugh right. My mom, in a weird moment, I thought we were bonding. There's something inherently extra evil when someone tells you your joy is wrong. I'm guessing it's hard to express joy around her now. Damn, that's awful. Oh yeah, told her I'm engaged and hope she could at least be happy I'm happy, and she ghosted everyone to the point the family thought she killed herself. She's a mess. I'll never understand parents that are so hard on their own children that they can't even be happy for them. So their sole function is to bring misery to their offspring? Not a parent but a grandparent. I was adopted when I was 12 years old. My parents were both drug addicts, so I was in and out of foster care most of my life. My adopted mother's father turned to me on Christmas Eve when no one else was around and said, "My daughter should have never adopted you. She should have let you stay on the streets where you belong." He got nicer as he got older and sicker, but I couldn't find it in myself to forget what he said even almost 10 years later. Went to the funeral for moral support but was indifferent about his passing. How horrible. I'm so sorry. Did you ever tell your parents? Yeah, I did. I was told they spoke to him in private, but that just made things even more awkward. BC. Then I was a snitch. Past 2 tears of joy. Lol, of course it is your fault for having a problem with him being an asshole, not his fault for being an asshole. I feel bad for your mother. That she was raised by him, as I'm sure he was just as lovely or worse as a parent as he was a grandpa. Hopefully your parents were better parents to you than theirs were. What did I do to deserve a fat kid? Extra ridiculous considering that even if you were fat, you were a kid. Who controls what kids eat? Their parents. Got to love parents blaming their kids for things they created. My little brother was drowning. I tried to save him but also almost drowned. We got rescued by a neighbor. My mom told me that they should have left me in the pond. I haven't spoken to her in many years. I've watched a movie where similar happened. It showed how a father tried to blame the sibling for it, while it was his fault not watching the kids. I'm incredibly sorry. It all happened to you. I hope you are doing okay. And GT. I've watched a movie where similar happened. It showed how a father tried to blame the sibling for it, while it was his fault not watching the kids. This plot is used a lot. And GT. The night agent has an identical plot with VP's daughter. And LT. Like a half a century ago, my mother and I were talking and the topic of someone's eye color came up. I forget who. I sincerely asked, "What color are my eyes?" "They are sort of a gray-green." She looked at them closely and told me, "Sort of a shit brindle." I still bring that up from time to time. Like, lady, was that necessary? Don't call me lady, call me mom. Okay, lady, I love you, bye-bye. Mom was talking to Dad about me while I was right there. I was bullied in high school and it had an effect on my grades. While discussing my education, she said, "Look at him. Can't you see there's nothing in there? Just look at how he sits there. He can't do this. He's not capable of more. This is it. He's nothing." It gave me a drive and motivation. It also gave me a constant need to prove myself. Edit. I never imagined this to get so much replies. For the people wondering, this happened almost 20 years ago and I have now found peace with what she said. My mom has a lot of mental issues but she tries her best. She's made a lot of progress and is still working on battling her inner demons. And in the end, she has since done a lot more good than bad. To me, I will never forget what she said, but I no longer hold it against her. People shouldn't always be reduced to their worst moment. It's so hard for me to even imagine saying something like that to my child. But good on you got using those shit words to better yourself. And GT, it's so hard for me to even imagine saying something like that to my child. Not even just to but about my child. You're so annoying. Said to me as a young kid while I was expressing enthusiasm over some new interest. Later my father complains I never tell him anything. After I had rambled on a new, exciting interest, my dad pulled me over to stand in front of him. Here is a quarter. I want you to walk on down to the Snappy Mart. When you get there, put the quarter in the phone. Then call someone who cares. He gave me the quarter and I broke down, because 10-year-old me didn't have anyone to call. I'm still convinced my being interested in anything makes it worse. I can still hear his cold, sarcastic voice in my head. I recently traveled across the country with my partner to meet their parents, and their parents would keep making comments to me about how much my partner talks. At one point my partner was rambling to me about one of their interests and it made their mom chuckle about how intently I was listening, because she thought I was just pretending. I guess they usually just nod or roll their eyes. I honestly love when my partner chats away about the things they like, even if it's not one of my own interests. All that to say, screw your dad for what he said, and I'm sorry for any effects it's had on you. I hope you've found people who love to hear you talk about whatever you're interested in now. I sometimes wish your seizure killed you when you were 2 years old. God WTF. You don't have to be a good person to have a kid. There are 0 qualifications required to breed, except to be fertile. To have good parents is to roll a double 6. I'm a waste of sperm apparently. Not sure what else they're doing with their sperm but, okay. Edit. This is my most liked comment. Wanted to save it for annual bukkake night with the Hendersons. Dad, when I was about 10. If I kill you, I can make another one just like you and no one will notice. My mom said this once but replace kill you with give you away. Hits different when you're a twin. My mom told me a story that happened to her when I was just a toddler. I am 69 and my mom is long gone. She said she was in a store one day with me and a Hispanic couple approached her and wanted to buy me. I was a cute little red-headed child with freckles and light eyes. I told my mother she should have sold me. I might have had a better life. My mom got upset. Similar thing happened to me. I live in Romania and am currently 22. My dad told me a story that when I was born and we were still in the hospital, he was holding me while my mom was resting. A married couple of, well, the G word. I won't say the word because I might get banned but you know, the G word people that Romania is memed for. You know what I am talking about. Anyway, they were a married couple. The man's wife had just given birth to their 7th daughter. They really wanted a son but only had daughters. My dad told me that they both fell on their knees and begged him to sell me to them. They showed him a briefcase full of jewelry and gold ingots, as well as a bag full of money. Must have been a fortune. Still, my dad instantly refused them, saying that he would never give me away, let alone sell me. After my mom woke up, Dad told her what happened. She got super scared and both of them were worried that they might try to steal me. Here comes the interesting part. They were so worried that they bribed the nurses to keep a close eye on me. It was a good thing they did that because the couple actually did try to steal me. They were caught before even getting close to me and nothing happened. At first, I didn't believe them but my grandparents and uncle confirmed the story, so I guess it's true. In 7th grade, I was learning how to write better poetry thanks to an awesome teacher. I was so proud of a collection I made, so I let my mom read it. She asked me, "Do you need to be put in a mental asylum?" I was so upset and as I was growing up, I didn't share any of my art with people, regardless of the medium. Even now, I still hear how serious she was when she asked me that. 20 years later, why do you never show me any of your work or tell me about your feelings? Skull and crossbones. How was school today? Fine. What did you learn? Nothing. I gray rocked my parents for 10 years because I did not want to hear their opinions about things they didn't understand. You were a very smart kid. I fought with mine because I was stupid. It only made them bitchier. Funnily enough, I wrote a very successful novel after years. Mom even made the effort to read it and tell me it was all right. Dad says he just doesn't have the time to read. Your dad told you he didn't have time to read the actual fucking book that you wrote? If you ever get the chance, tell him from me he's an idiot. You know what? He is an endless inspiration for vivid descriptions of idiots in my writing. I have been praised for this. And he will never know. LMAO, you have such boss energy. My mother said lots of things like that. I'll just talk about one of the most memorable. While I went to go inside the corner store, she stayed behind. In the car, outside the store was a kid that had a crush on me. He grabbed my ass and I bitched him out. My mother saw all this. In